What is up, y'all? It's your boy Aniki coming at you with another My Hero Academia live reaction Church of MHA Season 3, Episode 10, My Hero Academia, Chapter 350, live reaction and discussion. How are y'all doing today? For the people who are already here in the chat, how y'all doing? It's been a while. MHA's been on break. You ended up having to go to Shonen Rodins if you wanted to see what I was talking about for last week's chapter, since we didn't do a stream here. How y'all been? How my people? How's my church been? How are the people doing? Lamar Arrington's in the building. One of the first regulars touching down. Good. It's good to see. Let's get this popping. Sure. Let's get the Discord involved. Let's rally the people. Church is live. I won't do that to y'all ever again. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. That was rude. I apologize. Alves got you just on time. All right, Tiger Blast, awesome work. Taking the new Fujimoto one shot. Yep, gotta watch. We gotta read that automatically. Anything Fujimoto drops, we're here for. Still making fun of Dabi for listening to Linkin Park. I think Dabi made the right choice listening to Linkin Park. Linkin Park is supported here. We don't take that Linkin Park slander. Let's see. Get some new blood in the church today. Who knows? Perhaps. Let's see people loading in. All right. I've been having to be like really careful with spoilers and stuff out here because people can kind of bold. As always, you know, people like to kind of just drop panels and stuff. Unfortunately, certain things on like algorithms and different community stuff need to be adjusted online, but that's probably just oversight on their part because mute words don't work. Let's see. All right. Waiting until we get a little more people, like always. Let's see. And then you already know we'll start. One Piece was fun. That's going on break. No JJK this week, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure that's back next week. If what I heard is true, MHA is on break this week, so yep. Let's see. Chapter opens up many possibilities. Okay. Yep. Like the stream. Yes. Go off. Tell them to. YouTube needs people to tell them, like, for some reason YouTube doesn't go, they sat there and watched something from the beginning. They're interested. It's like, no, they didn't click like, they didn't comment, they didn't do something, so they didn't like it for real. It's like, dude, no, they like it, and that's why they didn't have to do a bunch of stuff. All right, I am kind of feeding for the chapter, so I'm just gonna start. I'm greedy. What can I say? All right. Log in, stop being weird. All right, Viz, let's see, 14 days. Yep, so we on break this week. Disappointed in that, but hey, I'm sure Hori needs his rest. The past never dies. Okay. I suppose the big day has begun. Bound to a fiery fate. Be quiet. Okay. You're light on guards today, so it's pretty obvious. All to prepare for today. That's why we sought out twisted raw material born into this world. All right, so one, I like the fact that we're clearly bringing back the gorilla who was talking to Gentle, but also cutting away to Kyudai Garaki, actually getting some emphasis on what he's doing, since he's kind of just been stuck in prison this whole time, as far as we know. So getting a cutaway to him during this arc is kind of crucial. I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually get a cutaway to Compress too then, since we were told he would be coming back. Warp seeds that could serve as vessels, as his vessel. Yep. 11 years earlier, Sokoto Peak. Hot. It's hot. No, I don't want to die. I still haven't shown him anything. Okay, dives into a river. That one too was born with some cracks in him. No, maybe from the very start, it wasn't just cracks. Maybe that boy was born with everything. All right, so Toyo's in a hospital. All for One pulled up on him on Sokoto Peak. Okay, so before the Homura clan got introduced, so you'd have to go back to like possibly, I think, the oldest videos on this channel for this discussion, but because I've actually been making MHA videos since My Villain Academia. One of the things that I thought was interesting was how Kyudai Garaki mentioned some of you we may have met before and you just don't recognize me now. And then he took an instant liking to Dabi. So I think that's what this whole thing is supposed to be bridging here, is why that happened ultimately. And, he was willing to give him a Nomu and like build one and program one to listen to him. So it's good to see that that's actually going to have a full circle plot moment. Okay, so get better soon, Sleepyhead. Where am I? I'm alive. Oh, he's awake. Sleepyhead is awake. Let's see. Okay, where are we? Was that really my voice? This is where we live, Doctor. It's been 3 years, Sleepyhead. You were asleep for 3 whole years. At least that's what the doctor told me, since I haven't been here all that long. All right. Which, that's a pretty intense coma. So, I mean, I'm not surprised when you think about the scales of the burns that Dabi acquires, but that's pretty intense. Peak check after that is Golden gets a double issue next week, so probably break again the week after he comes back too. All right. That means I gotta just knuckle down. Yes, East. And that trailer was looking nice. Quadratum is looking nice. I cannot wait to go see. I cannot wait. Anyway, back on topic. I burned up and I have to get home. We can't move that now, can we, Sonny? Why not? From now on, you live here with everyone. Your place, your very own place under the sun. There are your new family. You'll come to love it, as sure as the sun does rise. Okay. This is actually one of the more jarring characters we've seen design-wise, because it's just really this big buff burly dude with the sun. Yeah, all right, whatever. I don't know. I just find this design kind of creepy. That can't be. I got to get home. I bet that dad was just too busy with work to come see me, right? Probably. Yeah, he must be really worried. Those were some awful things I did and said. I should apologize to mom and everyone. And dad still needs to see what I can do. Sadly, your hope is in vain. Restoring your burnt and broken body was a monumental task. Your missing pieces had to be replaced via regenerative tissue. You're a changed man with that burned, rictus look on your face, and yet you survived. I'm changed. I don't get what you're saying. You'll never exhibit the power you once did. Every organ was damaged. Your senses, your ability to feel pain, all dulled. Your body is debilitated, and you'll never be the same again. But alas, despite our best efforts, we wanted to welcome you in at your full strength. So what I like about this is, like I mentioned before, John Hunt, the letterer, bringing in that villain font, the cracked font that is meant to like highlight just the evil and that twistedness and that commitment to it. So just keep that in mind. We failed. You must be suffering, you poor thing. But I might just be able to restore your flames to their full glory. Well, what do you say? Will you join our family and allow me to raise you? Shut up. No way am I getting trained by anyone else. He'd already been too molded by his upbringing for us to lead him astray. He was already festering away inside. Even the man who had known absolute control far and wide couldn't exploit the boy's obsession with his father. Those kids were our spares in case anything happened to Tomura Shigaraki, a seedbed of ferocity and hatred, one full of vessels for the Demon King. Dabi, as one of those spares, was a failed experiment. How despicable. No, never mind. What are you even trying to say? More crap about how All for One had everything planned out from the start? I'm saying they'd better watch out because that one boy never did buy what we were selling. Nah. We gave up on Dabi and let him run loose because after his body came back to life and he was up and about, he wasn't supposed to live for more than a month. What a surprise when the broker brought him back to our doorstep. Why had he come back? How was he still alive? Ujiko, you're the one who kept me alive, right? I had to know what Dabi was really thinking, so I arranged a moment when we'd be alone, just the two of us. Oh, it's back to that moment in My Villain Academia. Look at that. All right. So, let's see. Okay, yep. So what this also says to me is that Eri is 100% a character that if All for One acquires the proper or has the proper information about her existence is a target. Just gonna put that out right now. So why? Let's see. He's like, I had to know what Dabi was really thinking, so I arranged a moment when we'd be alone, just the two of us. Why, I'm tickled pink that you realized. Now tell me, what's been keeping you kicking? Seeing this walking corpse here gives me a decent idea of what you people were planning to do to me. And I'm back now because this seemed like the perfect place for my funeral. That one glimpse told me everything. He'd kept his dying body tethered to this world through a pure blazing grudge. Shoto, I did come home, actually. Even though I was weaker than ever, and there was no way that what I was hoping for was there. I still just wanted to be seen, but I was sure something must have changed. It's all I wanted to see. Instead, I was shown once more. After 3 years away, I witnessed that old familiar scene. The reason I was born. The fact is that as a failed creation, my life had been pointless. This family had left me behind in their past. All right. Oof. So he manages to see the shrine. He sees Dabi, or he sees Endeavor beating Shoto. Oof. When you surpass your limits, it's like everything you've built up is flipped around, upside down. I focused on honing my flames so I wouldn't be so weak when we next met. This body of mine kept peeling away and falling into pieces, but I never felt a thing. You want battle moves? I've seen them all over and over. Shoto, listen, I think, yeah, he's been prepared to die from the start. Every time that thing saved the city, every time that thing got a boost in popularity, my heart kept pounding away. Ever since the day that Toya died and Dabi was born. It's kind of crazy that he managed to get into the Todoroki estate compound all the way to his family's house, and nobody in his family noticed, no security, nothing like that, which I guess Endeavor wouldn't feel like he needed security at his house because he's there, but I don't know. That's wild. Heat is energy born of living things as they move and thrive. All for one who seeks to live forever had no use for that mad heat rushing headlong toward death. The demon lord himself had to abandon that frenzied flame of death. Flash fire heat fist. Oh, okay. Once I've burned away all that once I've burned away all that thing holds near and dear, that'll be the mark I've left on this world. Like I said, big brother, not on my watch. And all right. The other thing that I want to point out is that we were right. I talked about this and about his placement, the placement of his feet in my last chapter review. And here it is, melting through the All Might statue, destroying it. He was taken here just so he could destroy the All Might statue. Love to see it. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it, and realistically, Endeavor was just like, I don't need security. I'm the strongest dude. Like, besides All Might, nobody's really as strong as Endeavor as far as in Japan goes at that time period. So it's not like he had any reason to be afraid of people like pulling up on him. So it makes sense. It's reckless, but it makes sense. You would think he would have done something, but we already know that he didn't properly learn his lesson from any of the stuff that went down with his family, because like if he had, he would have upped security, done something like that. But I mean, this is the same dude who was like, man, my kid really wants to be a hero. I know. I'll have more kids so that I crush his dreams that way. So it's not like Endeavor making the right decisions revolving around his kids. It's, you know, a consistent pattern or anything. Let's see. When Hood was first introduced, wasn't it a kindergarten or something similar to this chapter? Did they feel the doctor when those turn those kids into Nomu? Are they still around as pawns? So I'm assuming some of those kids have been turned into Nomu, because the winged Nomu was the body of one of the kids that we saw hanging out with Bakugo, because he's the nephew of Kyudai Garaki. So from that perspective, any kid we saw in here is viable for having been turned into a Nomu. There is no guarantee that those kids are Nomu. They can also just be other creatures or villains that Off One has raised, depending on how useful they were throughout different phases. Though I do think that ultimately the thing that sets them apart is that while Dabi does have this intense quirk, his body still burns away and takes damage from it. So you need somebody like Shigaraki, somebody like Eri, some of that white hair, red-eyed combo that we've seen. And those are the only people who are viable candidates. Is 100% still my stance. So honestly, apparently the place they
kept I like to see any one of y'all niggas sneaking in Endeavor house. I wish y'all would try. Talk about he ain't got no security. Nigga, he Endeavor. What the fuck he need security for? Who gonna protect Endeavor? If Endeavor get his ass beat, nigga, what the fuck is that gonna say?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I mean, he could have an alarm or something just to know, but
I ain't even worried about security. I'm worried about because that is the weirdest part of the chapter to me. How the hell did he get in there? Like, nobody was home. Like,
I mean, but you gotta think about at that age, Shoto's still young, so he could probably pull that nigga out of school when he wants to. I mean, Ray's gone.
Yeah, she was gone. She was super gone by this point.
Ray's gone. You know who not at this age, Nato was about like 10, 11. You already know how Japanese niggas be in these schools. They be going out to do whatever. So I'm pretty sure nobody be home. And think about this? Do you want to be home while your fucking psycho dad is beating the shit out your little brother? You know, matter of fact, Natsuo wasn't home because he don't fuck with Endeavor after this fact. So you know he not trying to keep dealing with that nigga in the show.
What I'm saying though is that they was kids though. Like nobody was
for Yumi is like 12, so I'm pretty sure at that age you already know how niggas in Japan be. They be going out doing whatever they want to do. And it's not like Natsuo was gonna listen to Endeavor, and Endeavor not gonna care what Natsuo was doing. You see him beating on Shoto. So at this point, he's not gonna be like, Where the
It's
kids
crazy.
at?
Nah, no cap. Because Natsuo probably just really didn't come home on purpose. Like, Toya dead. Well, what I'm coming home for?
Exactly. He ain't trying to see fucking.
It's been like the thing that's because it's been 3 years too. So, like, he was what 13 when the incident happened.
Yeah,
Dabi.
So it's crazy that mentally Dabi was still 13 when he woke up.
Yeah, because I mean, 3 years in a coma. I mean, when you in a coma, you don't really age up mentally because nigga, you basically went to sleep.
Yeah,
you don't really grow mentally in your sleep.
That makes him the same age as the other LOV members mentally. But he's 20, just like Shiggy in his mind.
Yeah, because he's lost 3 years, which Dabi being able to survive longer than they expected. Oh, super chat. Andrew came through. Now that we know AFO has a hat, is he the same man who brought Tenko home one day? Are we going to get Toya face to face with anyone from the Todoroki family?
Shoto.
I mean, yeah, we have Toya versus Shoto right now.
Yo. Listen, I gotta give Shoto his props. He's about to use some new attack, and I don't know what it's about to be, but Heat Fist. That sounds kind of raw. Like,
well,
I don't know what that's about to be.
It's funny because like you look, and I'm looking at this attack that he's doing, and it's like he's making claws of fire. And if you remember throughout the whole series.
Yeah,
Dabi has avoided using his direct actual fingertips because he's always done his fire from around his arms or like higher. So he's always doing like that and flicking.
Yeah, when he does do his I was gonna say when he does use his hands, he just flicks it away or he blows it. He like prepares himself.
Hey,
it's also crazy. We finally got the confirmation. Like, I didn't buy this theory at all. Like, every time people used to say this, I used to cringe. But it's canon that it was never really his skin on his body.
Yeah. And a matter of fact, to even double that down, why niggas are like, well, how did he recognize his dead child at that? Nigga, that's not even he didn't even have the same voice.
And he never saw never saw the blue fire. There was no way for him to know that was clear.
Exactly. He like, bro, they had no reason to believe that was that nigga. So it literally all makes sense. So all that shit that was the point. It's just like it all makes sense. Your kid is dead.
3 years.
He literally lost his jaw. So you know that nigga was like, all right, because even in fires, the only thing you can pull from fires when there's bodies that's burnt and they can't identify it, and it's a John Doe, which is an unidentified body with no name. They pull dental records. Teeth are sometimes the only thing that remains. And Aniki can vouch because he wasn't them scientific niggas. It's because Squid not here. But if he was, he'd be in that shit, giving us a 2-hour lecture. But yeah, they pull your dental teeth and shit like that to pull and verify that, this is this person to match the DNA. So your jaw, the only thing that remains, lines up with that. Okay, this nigga dead and burned to a crisp. There's
different boys, different power.
Well, yeah, they found a piece of his body. The flames were enough to scorch everything else. So it's like, all right, it was a fire that cremated a bunch of stuff. So maybe he got cremated too.
Nah, I just read the chapter yesterday because my volume 30 came. It said specifically like what they thought happened was that his ashes blew into the wind with the blaze. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it was like he got cooked. Like,
I mean, look at him on that page, bro. He looked just as bad as Shigaraki did after that prominence burn in the war.
People kind of need to reread what was it 290 and they need to reread 290 291 and then they really need to read the how to put the wrong way to put out a fire, because
I can't wait to get that in a volume.
Because what a lot of y'all may not be remembering is the full story and in depth, I guess, because it wasn't all put together right here right now. They did not know that Dabi had blue fire because they said he came out the oven late, which is why Natsuo was basically the same size as him. And then, remember, we was talking about it before, like, well, why are they like kind of Natsuo kind of the same height as him if he's older? They literally said he came out the oven late. He hit puberty late. And at that moment he hit puberty, his shit awakened when he was alone. And Dever had never seen him do that shit.
He used to train by himself. And nobody ever saw him.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be doing none of this stuff. So when we see him now actually utilizing like and doing all this stuff, it's because like nobody knew. This is him pulling out all his secret moves. And if you remember, like even the league was like, oh wow, we didn't know anything about this. But like
you're pretty nice.
Yeah, it's like there was no there it all like I don't no matter which way you try to pull it apart, it's fucking foolproof that there's no way you're gonna recognize your dead child. Not missing, dead. Confirmed his jaw was gone, nigga. That's his jaw.
Another thing. Another thing about that too is that they also said during the first few Dabi chapters, they were like, oh, you didn't even suspect that I was Toya because you got used to being around fire types because your agency.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then
there was every reason, like Hori thought of every reason in the book. Like the voice change, I didn't even expect that. Like
and then to top that off, you hit puberty. You ain't seen this nigga in like 13 years, bro. And then the next time you see him, he's already an adult. And then Endeavor, you have to think about how drained Endeavor was after facing the hood. He lost his eye. He's drained. Like his body is overburnt. All this type of shit. Like, of course he's not gonna recognize him because he can't fucking see. He could barely probably hear. His senses are a fucking mess at the Pro Hero.
Toya looked like he was like 5'2" when he caught on fire. Current Dabi is like 5'9". So like just like even just factoring in like the height difference, and also it had been like over 10 years. So like there's enough reasons, and like it will be harder for him to recognize Toya. Like that would be harder to justify for me at least than him not recognizing him at this point.
I'm so glad that it's finally been like addressed in canon that Dabi wants to die. Because I don't know, that's like a core part of his character to me, and it was never actually said in canon. That he even said it to Ujiko. He was like, that's the perfect place for a funeral. I don't know what he meant by that, but I'm pretty sure he just meant the league. He was like, listen, it's a perfect place to cause a ruckus. Then Shoto was like, he's been prepared to die this whole time. Listen, the change in energy from when he was talking about eating bowls of soup with this nigga. Let me stop.
I'm gonna beat his ass. Well, it's
different when he in your face, right?
Because it's like, well, at the end of the day, any kumbaya stuff that you want to feel when you see him talking like this, and then you see him pulling out demon claws of flames. I mean, you think back on it, and Shoto fights best when he got PTSD. Like, for example, in joint training, when Tetsu hit him in the stomach and he started thinking about Endeavor, he started kicking it up a notch. When Deku hit him in the stomach, immediate flashback to Endeavor. Like, notice Bakugo doesn't hit him in the stomach during Sports Festival, doesn't get the flames. See, it's that simple. After that hug of flames and lighting him on fire and during the war arc, as soon as those flames started coming out, Shoto was like, oh yeah, that's right, I just got to move his ass. Done. It's that simple.
Yeah, also the officials, like, because in the scans, Dabi just said Endeavor. They got him calling him that thing. Like, this man is lost it. And his nose is burning up on the last page.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely got to do like his own original attack before he goes. I want to see him pull out every one of Endeavor's moves before he dies. He says, you want battle moves? I've seen them all.
That's my thing, is that he pulled out Jet Burn already. He was going to do Prominence Burn.
Make it a spectacle.
Like, he said he's going to do Heat Fist, like this Heat Fist, which is probably going to be way more than any Flash fight, like Hell Spider we could have seen. That's like the only alternate move we really could have seen. We've seen him do the flying. Which that also explains kind of why, I guess you could argue it explains why we don't see Dabi do a lot of like flying until after we see Endeavor do it, because it's once he sees Endeavor figure stuff out that he's like, okay, I'll just do that too then. It's just that all the training Dabi does also brings him closer to death. Wait. Okay, I was going to say, like looking like Tarnish is here, but he's not. Let's see.
I don't know who that imposter is.
Let's see. Dabi is a bit like a prototype non-move. I wonder how long Hori will continue the Dabi fight for, and how does Dabi get to meet Endeavor once more before he dies? So Dabi doesn't get to. The way I look at it is that Dabi's end is going to be a tragic and horrible one, and it's going to be sad for everybody involved. And I think specifically Dabi's end will be the main reason why Endeavor will never get his family back for real. And that's kind of how I look at what's going to happen here, is that any chance at healing the rift between Shoto and Endeavor is entirely dependent on this Dabi situation not going south, and I expect it to go south, and that'll just damage that.
Shoto is not ready to watch his older brother die right in front of him.
Exactly. Him being able to pull the attitude isn't that doesn't mean anything. You know, like
he's literally about to die right in front of him, and Endeavor's not there, no family. He's by himself. He's alone, right? He got the sidekicks in terms of combat, but him this is his fight for real.
That's why Ida's there.
He needs something. Like, I don't know. I didn't know Horikoshi was gonna do this. Like, I knew Shoto was gonna be in this fight, but by himself, like, what?
This is Shoto surpassing Endeavor in his own way, because he'll reach Toya's heart. He'll also beat him. He'll have to deal with all this stuff, and that'll be what makes him completely have to give up on Endeavor.
Bro, I need Shoto's retort. Like, I need him to say, I was a fucking creation too. Like, look at me. Yo, if Shoto say look at me or say anything similar to that, because Dabi has been treating him like, dude, he went through the same thing you went through on a worse scale, because Endeavor was actually beating him, and you just got tossed aside, literally. He didn't even train you.
Oh, also, this chapter does tie. Okay, so I was working on a video involving Dabi, and this chapter actually adds a little extra fuel where I'm glad I didn't finish editing that video, because I'm probably going to have to go and edit back in something about this all for one thing. Because one of the things that I think is funny is that Dabi and Shigaraki both surpassed the expectations of what their body modifications were supposed to do for them, with Dabi surviving physically for years after what they expected, because they said he was expected to die like a month later.
A month versus 10 years is crazy.
And Shigaraki, who they apparently seem to, some of their dialogue doesn't make sense in the past, but we'll get to that when we get there one day. Shigaraki surpassing their expectations and how active his personality and his consciousness still is. So both Shigaraki and Dabi surpassed the expectations of the experimentation that was done on them as people in their own ways.
Hates Tanisha. And Shoto didn't go through the same shit like Dabi did in the sense. Well, Dabi went to something more even irreversible, fucked up, honestly. Because it's one thing when you it's one thing to be beaten, right? And be abused, and then you say, you're not trying hard enough. This, you the masterpiece, and everybody, he putting his faith in you and he abusing you, right? That's some fucked up shit. But that's just, you need to arise to your potential. You're not working hard enough. You're not busting your ass hard enough. That's kind of different than you being the oldest, especially in that Japan course, like Aniki keeps stating. You the oldest, you the head of the household. Your destiny to take over and lead the way. and you get thrown to the side and they start pumping out more babies and breeding more motherfucking kids just so they can have the perfect masterpiece just to put you to the side and be like, all right, you can chill. I know I put all this weight and pressure on you all these years, but you ain't cutting it. Now we just gonna have more kids, and then now we got our masterpiece. So you good, bro. Chill out. Just sit to the side. You don't need to worry about this. You good.
He then I told him to go play with his friends at school.
Yeah, like nigga, what?
Like, dude was just like, yeah. So anyway, like your dreams, whatever. Don't care about them.
like the heartache that I had when I read the leaks, like. You know what this reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Gentle. And it's interesting that like it's the same cop from the Gentle chapter. But like, you know, when Gentle saw his old buddy from school, he was like, who are you again? Like moments like that like really hurt me because I'll just be like, damn, like
that shit real.
That shit real. But like Toya to come home and see 3 years later, like the same scene, the same story once again, like he must have really felt like his life meant absolutely nothing. Like
it's like you died and nothing changed.
Like that's terrible. Like all jokes aside,
like I can just picture it in my mind right now. Just how happy Toya was. Like everything's gonna be different now. Dad's gonna change all because I died. You know, he's gonna be grief stricken, and then I'm gonna walk in. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Toya, it's so happy. We're so happy you're home. You're safe. Yay!" And oh, he's still beating everybody.
You know the craziest part about that to me though too is
shit.
It don't have to even be confirmed. I know for a fact, based on who Endeavor is, I know for a fact because he said this twice. They mentioned Toya twice in 2 different flashbacks when Shoto was being trained. So I know Endeavor honed it in again, and I know Dabi overheard a line about you supposed to be greater than Toya. You could do this. You my masterpiece. This is the reason we had. I know for a fact he heard that shit.
At least one.
Oh yeah.
I know when he pulled up that time. I know he heard that shit.
Wait.
It looks.
I just realized that this one of the flashbacks specifically, Endeavor is like holding a stick and he's standing over it, but it's usually drawn a little differently, like with the type of stick. But he's like, Toya's condition was regrettable. Do you think the implication is supposed to be that that's the scene that Toya is like eavesdropping on here?
I was thinking that because there was 2 of them, and I only found the first one. So in the second one, I mean, Tarnish only found the first one. In the second one, what clothes is Shoto wearing? Because that matters too.
I'd have to find that chapter real quick.
Yeah.
I know like one of them, and one of them Shoto had on a white shirt. He was 5, you know. He never had the stick, so and never used this stick consistently. Like that's canon.
What was he doing? Was he telling
beating stick?
What was he trying to get him to balance left and right at the same left, right, left, right? Was he smacking the shit out of this nigga?
Yeah.
Block with your left, block with your right. Fire,
it's
block with your right.
It's called dodge training.
Boy, you gotta be
bro. If I was 13 and I thought nobody cared that I died, yo,
bro, we all know, especially Whakins is honest, we all know what Lincoln Park was doing back in those days. So like, nigga, you know what a nigga would have been doing at 13. You see that shit? Crawling in my skin. These wolves, they made
not only that, like the whole Endeavor Todoroki thing, but even like the All for One, he was a failure. So like,
that's listen. Art aside, dialogue aside, everything else, that is specifically the best part of the chapter, and I will fight anybody. The fact Ujiko was like, yo, that nigga wasn't buying the bullshit he was selling. And this nigga said, and it was like, hey, yo, it was like, yo, he was like, oh, he struck a nerve, didn't I? Well, join our family. And he's trying to work his regular manipulation tactics.
They keep running the show like always.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, shut the fuck up, bro. He like, fuck all that shit you talking about.
Okay. But you remember like when All for One was like, you friendless loser, and Dabi was looking at them thinking like, oh, really?
It makes sense now. Yo, he was really coming at him.
Yo, All for One really is petty, bro, because he was holding a grudge like, you killed all my niggas back there. I ain't gonna let this shit go.
Nah, he was really coming at him, time out. Because I was wondering, like, he was a little too comfortable calling him Toya.
Also, what I like about this too is Ujiko didn't trust Dabi to not kill him.
He was like, "Yo, what type of timing you want? I gotta feel you out." Like,
because like think about that. Because like when you look at the page and it's like, and this place would be a good place for my funeral. The dude is afraid for a bit.
He got spooked. You know, Uchiko is a sick nigga, so I don't know. I know he don't get spooked like that.
Nah, you see the way Dabi looked at him though,
bro. Like, I know. That's what I was saying. Like, that's how you know that shit was real. It was like, I mean, you got to think a nigga that should have been like a nigga that you know is alive, but should have been dead based off all the science in the world. Because it's different than the Endeavor situation. It was like, all right, we brought you back to life, but your flames, they gonna kill you anyway, so it's whatever. And this nigga popped back up on him now.
Let him go. Like they let him leave because like he gonna die anyway. Who cares? Like,
and this nigga
didn't die.
This nigga came back even more scars and scabs pierced together by fucking like.
Yo, he did those piercings and like Dabi was stapling himself back together.
Whakins. Nigga said staples from Old Depot. Hell nah. Nah, that shit crazy, bro. Listen, yo.
Okay, so but on one hand, this explains like how Dabi survived, but it doesn't tell us like. I guess it doesn't matter what he was doing, but it is kind of like what. Okay, so what were you doing after you left off for one?
I need to know like what he was really doing for real, like when he was by himself. Like
I want to know. This is only like part of the backstory explained. Like, where's the rest?
I mean,
I want to know who he. I want to know his first body for real. Like, who was the first nigga that he said, "Nah, I'm just gonna kill you." Like,
and why was and what was it? Was it in some Endeavor shit that ticked him off? Like, what really was it that sent this nigga right? I mean, it's cool because I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know if they clash and then we switch because I still know this is just still a bunch of setup. I don't expect the real fights to start for a lot of people. That's why we cut away from Toga and Ochiko and, you know, Deku Shigaraki going to be the main event because that's the biggest decider of everything. So, and this, I know we're not even going to get this full fight yet. They might just clash real quick and then we're going to see, all right, these niggas going at it. And then, you know, Dabi love to talk, so he going to come back even more like, yo, so what the fuck? Why did you start killing people? Like, more to it.
30 people. He had a number in his head, like, and then remember when he killed Snatch, he was like, I remember all my victims. Yeah, I need to see like the first one.
Yeah, because 30 isn't that high of a number, which lets us know that Dabi wasn't just out here killing people until probably after he saw Stain.
No, he was doing something before because I remember they mentioned about him doing that shit anyway. Because I remember
Giran was like, oh, we like have reports on him or something like that. I would have to go back to see what he said.
Yeah.
He wasn't a big villain.
Because they didn't know who he was too. Because I know Snatch wasn't talking about in that time before, in between the camp and the overhaul arc. I know Snatch wasn't really talking about victims. I mean, I know Snatch wasn't really talking about the victims between that time period. I'm pretty sure he was talking about before them because they didn't know. They probably couldn't tie it together that it was Dabi until there's a fire user within the League of Villains.
See, hold on. I'm near the chapter now. So
the chapter with Giran is like 59, something like that. So I said 59. I mean, like around those areas.
Because everybody was making moves except Spinner before the League got together. Sprinter's the only one that just got into shit.
Chapter 68, page 2. You both have similar goals. I'm sure she'll be useful to you. Next, this young man has no outstanding criminal record to speak of, but he's enamored with the hero killer.
Oh, so he really didn't. Yeah.
So he just started killing niggas.
So he was training then. He spent all that time training, fostering his hatred. Because he was like, every time that thing saved the city, every time that thing got a boost, and then he's like, you see battle moves? Like, I've seen them. I seen them all the time.
And if you think about it, what he was saying too, because when we saw Dabi kill people, like one of the first times we saw Dabi just straight up rack up bodies, he killed multiple people. Like he just shot up like a gang of 6 right there. So like if he was doing that regularly for years, there's no way he would have only been sitting at 30 bodies.
No, but he said the trick, the counter to that is that he said innocent though. Because you killing villains and niggas that you think is waste is different than killing innocent people.
See,
nobody
but
gonna hold
Dabi
him to that.
thinks like a lot of people are waste, so I don't know, man. Because like technically anybody wearing a hero shirt would probably fall under the category of not innocent. So I don't know, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what was he killing? What was he killing? Because we know in NBA they talked about you just out there burning people. He was like, they all waste. These niggas ain't got no ambition. And I know he wasn't going to no regular niggas on the street. Like, yo, what is your beef? Like, what is your goal in life? And just barking them, they didn't answer right. I know because we know they were trying to recruit more people, or so they sort of speak.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm just saying, like, homie, I don't know. Like, he maybe racked up some bodies before that, but it really seems to suggest that most of the time it's from when he's active. Horror manga from Horikoshi. And okay, because I did have somebody also asked how I felt about him mentioning he wanted to draw a horror manga. It does kind of seem like something that I think would be up his alley. Personally, the ultimate cash crop out of this would be a Nomu centered story where we get to see like one of them being built, or a Nomu that can remember its surgery or something like that, and we get the emphasis on the actual surgical makings of a Nomu or something like that, so you can watch them like as they like, and then we get like him cutting the stuff open and doing the surgeries and all the other stuff. That probably like a good way, like a good crossway between the two, like something centered around that, because then you get your body horror, and then if you include the experimentation process too, then you can get real nasty.
Real nasty.
Yeah. Well, kept us on MHA while still doing that. Let's go. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, no. The other thing is that, oh man, yeah, I gotta edit this video. I gotta stop playing around and just go edit this video. I had a feeling that Dabi had seen a situation at home before he left forever. Glad Koei spun the AFO and the doctor restored him and took him in like Shiggy in a cool way, making sense and expanding it all. Well, that's because Dabi's the deuteragonist of the League of Villains. Like, this is how it is. Let's see. For hate's sake, I spit my last breath at thee. Let's see. All right. Are we looking good over here on the discussion?
I mean, yeah. I'm just gonna say, years ago, some people used to be wild out these streets. You know what I'm saying? You know, any given number of years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, niggas be wild now. You know what I'm saying? In these streets. But man, this finna get really insane. That crazy. But I'll wait to say that to the end, because that's a closing thing. Because I mean it's what I would say at the end is an undeniable fact. Because hey, you already know quadruple. The quadruple, whatever the trifecta is for quadruple. Hey, whatever the word for that would be, but hey, Tarnish no, but I'm gonna speak on that later.
Yo, listen, I'm so happy we finally seen Ujiko again. I've been waiting to see, like, we get back to him and he on the same shit he was on last time, just talking, you know what I'm saying? Like look how he's sitting in that prison cell.
Damn, listen, that nigga, shout out to Ujiko.
He's in a cell telling them niggas, y'all are low on guards today. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Well, no, you remember that's how it was when he was getting arrested. He was like, damn, this lab is decaying around me. My life might end, but y'all niggas losing. Like, and then you remember he was literally standing there getting arrested, and he was like, Gagato Maki is coming. Y'all niggas losing.
Like, yo, that ass was. He was like, the noble are still alive, huh? Listen, my great friends met 6 disciples. He brought them all back for me. He was just chatting for the longest time.
Hey, thanks, Ivy, for pulling up and showing some love, although you can't stay. Appreciate you. Well, Brandon, I mean, the evidence suggestion supports that. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have no problem with it because it still don't classify all day. Instead, only difference would be with that, even if it was off when to drop him off, it really don't matter. Only difference would be like only thing that would matter if it was him, if it gave him court, and then we all know that didn't happen, and no fucking way because it's a mutation. So him dropping Shiggy off would actually make sense. It wouldn't even matter really, because he had his eye on him some type of way, shape, or form. And I'm pretty sure even if he knew that event that went down, he would still wait because he know how people will react to seeing that little boy on the street, and that's just going to help him fester his hatred more when he alone. So if anything, it would just line up and make sense, and it wouldn't really matter, or be an issue rather. Also, Alves, yes, god damn, that shit finally over. Final battle over. This shit over. Thank God, Vigilante over. I mean, God, Lee, bro, that shit was going on for damn near a year. That final battle was going on for a year almost, bro.
Oh wait, that finally ended.
It finally ended. God,
Oh,
that nigga
God.
is gone. It's over. All we gotta do is wrap this shit up.
Thank Jesus.
That shit was ridiculous. I said, bro, this nigga transformed one more goddamn time. I said, what fucking? I like, am I playing Kingdom Hearts right now? This nigga don't transform about 15 times. Like, bro, this nigga don't die. I swear to God. Couldn't be me. I would have left the city and be like, all right, bro, y'all on your own. All right, where you at? Come take this nigga out, because this nigga here, boy.
I'm reading Undead on look.
Yeah, I think Dabi gonna go out like Azula. I think Dabi gonna go out like Azula.
Oh, man.
Well, you got to specify what you mean by that.
Azula
When she was chained up having a breakdown crying.
No, he gonna kill himself.
Not he'll be, instead of being chained up, he's dying. Like, replace being chained up with dying. Like,
I don't even want to think about it. Him going out that sad? Nah. We already talked about that. I won't even get into all that. They're going out that sad? Nah.
I mean, like, I can see Dabi going out, like, literally going on a one last final rant, like, and he's like just cursing the entire family, like, and Shoto's just standing there watching him, like, you know, I can see it ending like that. With how it's going right now, I'd be cool with that, but it's just the Endeavor not being here thing still breaking my heart on the low.
Oh yeah, because especially when he was like, even now, like, I still can't get his attention. And it was just like, oof. Well,
Won't see me.
like,
Yeah, listen, the scans were a little crazier on that line. I ain't gonna lie, because they directly called back to when Toya was in the forest saying, "Look at me." He was like, "He still won't look at me." And then in the official, she said something else.
Super chat from Andrew, Mr. Andrew. It is beyond stupid when people bash and hate on off one because he not Shiggy. Why can't we have more than one S tier character? I have hope in Shiggy. Listen, Andrew got hope. That's saying something, because that nigga. Yeah,
look,
I'm
gonna be real with you. I don't hate All for One like everybody does. So I just let y'all have y'all hatred and go.
Listen, that nigga is a slimy parasite, and he got his hand on too much shit.
He's not my goal. That's all that is. He has more influence and he's doing more shit when what Shiggy should be doing, especially when we in the final stretch and this point of make or break for the series. So it's like this should be Shigaraki doing what he need to be doing instead of this slime ball ass nigga having his hand and everything. Yeah, look, my piece on it. Listen, like, narrative wise, I don't think All for One deserved to have this much attention. Like, doing all this stuff, fine, but like to be pissed on this much, I don't think he earned it. Like, honestly, and that's just my piece.
We're talk. And then, see, I don't even feel like talking about this series and the future of it, because, like I said, I got my stance to the Fat League sink. I ain't budging an inch until I'm not crying fire until I see one. So it's like, but it's like I remember,
you know, in Camino when he got arrested, everybody was clowning him. What villain gets arrested? I'm like, yo, facts. Like, he don't get no respect from me.
Yeah, but it's like we in this final stretch, and this nigga is got too much presence. You gotta bounce, nigga. Like for real, you is this too close, and this nigga Shigaraki nowhere near you, and Deku trying to come for this thing. It's like, your ass gotta bounce, nigga. And it's like, what is he? Is they going Endeavor and them going to kill this nigga? Endeavor and Hawks really gonna kill this nigga or something? Because he gotta bounce, bro. Ain't no more jail for this nigga. He gotta go.
Well, that's the thing that's funny about it is that as much as people clown on All for One for getting arrested, a failed villain gets arrested, but a dumb villain gets killed.
Because you live to fight another day, especially since he knew what the fuck was gonna go down. He had faith that Shigaraki is gonna come back for that nigga.
So why would I go out of my way to let myself die here if I don't even have to?
Exactly. And no Google, I don't want to change my name. You already know what team you're on. But Cameron Bailey, I mean, we already knew they was experimenting on kids because we knew they were using children from a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure John is a kid.
Yeah.
That's why I said one of the craziest things about the Nobu is knowing that Mocha and John were realistically babies or toddlers.
Yeah, and we knew for the longest that they were using kids and shit for this thing. Ever since it was confirmed, that was that nigga grandson. That was the Nobu that took Deku during the fucking Stain arc on Hosu City. I was like, yeah, never mind. Then they was talking about then it got reconfirmed when we was looking at the nursery during Pro Hero, and then once again when we was in what arc was it? Then when we was in the beginning of the war, they was talking about Ujiko and all the nurseries and all the orphanages, and like he philanthropist, big good guy like that. We already knew what time it was with that nigga. I mean, this is double confirms, and it's not even the only fucking orphanage they had. It's multiple fucking whatchamacallit.
Yeah, no. Ujiko was world renowned for being an expert in quirk medicine. So
the quirk doctor.
Like it's straight up one of those, oh wow, the leading expert. Yay. Oh no, the leading expert. Like it just isn't what they needed, but it's what they got.
That's kind of why I wanted Nezu to be the traitor, because it would have been like, damn, the nigga everybody thought was a good dude was not.
Yeah, and it would have made sense too, because it's like, all right. Speaking of which, where the fuck is that nigga? But you know what? We don't know where a lot of niggas at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of people we gotta figure out what they're doing, where they're going.
That's why I'm saying we ain't even getting like we just starting up a lot of shit. This is the most meat we've gotten for the war, actually, if anything. This is the deepest we've gotten meat-wise. Everything.
Honestly, this is a sidetrack to me.
Yeah, this ain't even really meat. Like this like I said, this is why I don't expect this battle to actually start. They might throw something at each other, and then by the end of the next chapter, we're gonna be somewhere else on the next battlefield.
Okay, I'm not gonna hold you. I think next week we're gonna switch. I don't think, because you know what, the last page of this chapter, it reminds me of Ochako and Toga when they got that one page where they was about to head up. So I think next chapter might cut away.
Yeah, and then next time we come back to a lot of the battlefields, when we come back to each battlefield the next time around, that's when I know the real shit niggas gonna really be throwing hands. Because right now we just doing setups for
we're setting up each battlefield. I feel like that's what this first,
and we need to do some stuff with UA Field before Deku gets there. So that battlefield has to get some stuff jumping, and we can have multiple plot lines out of wrap up, and we have to figure out what's going on with Spinner. So,
and then the workaround we gotta have is still crazy. That's why I be laughing when this nigga was like a year, and it's like, all right, but you watching your health because you keep taking.
It's
like you real funny. Not. Like I said, that shit is just a joke to me because like, all right, 1 year, nigga already took 2 breaks this year, and then we got Golden Week coming up, and then you decide to take a detour and pull the main protagonist away from the main antagonist when they had a better shot of wrapping up.
That was faster. A huge detour.
Yeah, and then like now that nigga got to take God knows how long to get back. Then you got Spinner that's nowhere to be found.
Whole battlefront.
Then we got what? We got 3 locations. We don't even know who the fuck fighting who at where and doing what. So like That's setting those up, not even diving into the battle for those. That's setting those up. Then you got to swing back around a full circle to get into the actual meat after you set up to wrap up. It's like, yeah, bro. Good luck. I don't know what type of pacing you do it or imagining, but good luck with that, Chief.
Yeah. Next week we for sure going back to Awful One, because Endeavor needs to find out this story too.
Imagine that nigga had a recorder. He's like, look at this. I have my normal record everything that he was saying. All right, nigga. You know what? You getting on my nerves down, nigga.
Yeah, like
see
Endeavor.
How we put him together, Endeavor. Well, we started with his jaw, and then we grafted all this stuff. Don't you want to see it? I have pictures. I have a video.
Then I asked him if he wanted to be my son, and he said no.
Like,
so you get that win right there, Endeavor, but everything else,
that shit gonna be so funny. He gonna be talking bad shit. He gonna be like, Toya came to us, but he regret. Even my manipulation didn't work. He ran back to his father, but even his father, ain't gonna work. That nigga Endeavor, boy.
Look, like I said before, like this Awful One fight, I need this to be like the side of Endeavor that we never got to see. I want to see Endeavor mad. I want to see him like put hands on Awful One for real.
I want to see like real talk. Be like,
because we used to hear stories about how violent he was, but we never saw it. Like the first fight we saw was with Hood. I want to see that violent Endeavor from the past.
I want to see Vigilante's Endeavor. That nigga had no care for anybody, bro. That nigga was launching fire tornadoes. I don't give a fuck who in the way, bro. He was trying to kill Koichi and them. He was like, shit.
Because he did like that carpet bomb was straight up like anybody who's still there is a villain.
Yeah,
that ass. He was like, you all might hoodie wearing punk, like, and like, bro, I'm not even a villain.
Nigga was like, I don't give a fuck. He was like, if you ain't a hero and you out here, you might be this vile, despicable villain. I'm gonna kill you, nigga. I was like, damn. I'm like, all right, nigga. They was talking about with your ass.
Listen, every good redemption story has that one moment of regression. I want this to be Endeavor's regression.
Rightfully so, because we couldn't do it with Toya.
Listen, I want him to get into the thrill of battle to the point where, like, let's say he does beat Awful One. I want him to really feel victorious. Like, you know what? I did reach All Might's level. I just want some type of, like, just something, like, because that shit would actually be funny to me. Because then it'd be like, yo, your kids are literally fighting because of you, and you're over here, like, being a thrill seeker. That'd be funny.
Niggas like, you taking pride in this, but your kids over there killing each other?
Yeah, like, it don't matter what. Like, there's no... Endeavor can't play the trash talk game here. He has to just fight this nigga and kill him.
Yeah, all he can do is channel his rage into this shit. Like, that shit crazy, bro.
Even though I still say that if Hawks had known that, if Hawks was already suspicious of his swords not working, he should have just like chopped off a limb or something of All for One. Because it wouldn't have killed him, but it would have probably threw him in a shock a bit.
I would have threw both of them shits at that nigga if I was that bitch ass bird. I'd do both of them shits. I'd be like, listen.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say, he ain't pull up on All for One like he pulled up on Twice. That's crazy.
Oh God, bro.
Okay, he don't have the feathers to do what he did against.
Bro,
Twice.
the way he pulled up on Twice though.
Nah, like, talking man, get that whole he gave him a choice. Man, get the fuck out of my face, man.
But there was blades everywhere.
I'll never forget that goofy ass time on Twitter and all this shit y'all niggas talking about. He gave him a choice. Bitch, you lied to me for 3 months straight in my face, and you basically got a pistols in my face. And you talking about, so he gave him a choice. Nigga, what? Why the fuck would I believe you or trust you? My niggas who had my back, they in trouble. You just betrayed me. You think I'm finna let this shit slide and go? Nah, Playboy.
Do it for Twice, Dabi. Do it for twice.
Do it for twice. This call, the double back confirmation that this nigga gives a fuck. Regardless what any of y'all niggas said, the proof is in the pudding.
Also, can we point out that Dabi always gets the mixtape covers? Because that panel of him being like, Toya died.
Bro, that's my favorite panel of this stuff. Like, bro, he prayed to himself. so I'm dead. Like, all right.
My
Yeah.
My nigga, yo, bro, was he homeless? Like, I need to know. Was he just on the street? Did he have to eat anymore after that? Like, all his organs were messed up. Like, does he need to eat food? I need my questions answered.
Dog, he's Frankenstein's monster. Just a patchwork put back together.
He feeds off of hatred.
He's literally a walking will.
Like,
It's like, I don't need food. My hate is my food.
He's like, food, what is that? And he's like, that's why he was talking about shit about Lee. Like, what y'all niggas doing? Sleep. What is sleep, nigga? You're out there sleeping. Endeavor's out there. I'm like, oh my God. Can you imagine if he was honest about his past and he never said about Endeavor? If it like Endeavor right now, while you're out here crying about this, Endeavor's out there. I'm like, oh my God, Dabi, if you don't shut the fuck up, man.
Benner wakes up and gives him the same lines that
Like-
Natsu gave him. Like, it's 3 a.m. Just shut up about Endeavor already.
that's probably why he didn't end up talking to the league about his feelings, because of Natsuo being like, man, can you shut up?
Oh, another Natsuo L good. Can't stand that annoying name.
Dog, I'm sick.
If he really wanted to make a difference, he would have been training over that month that Deku was on the streets, and he would have been in this fight.
I'm sick.
Back of his brother up.
He'd have been here for real. Listen, for you, me, and Ray, they got a pass. You a nigga. Get in the mix.
Get your ass out there, boy. Hey, you big for no? Nah, matter of fact, fuck gender. You the nigga doing all that shit talking.
Yeah.
You talking all that shit. Get your ass out there and make a difference, nigga.
Oh Lord, I can't just let you slide and go.
Slide and go.
Man, bring back the real goat. We're bringing the real goat.
No, man, I was hoping that dude was gonna die in the war.
It's so funny how Death Arms put that nigga in a pack and then he like, and then Death Arms quit. That shit funny.
Death Arms is a funny nigga because he literally started the war off and then he's like, nah, I can't do this shit, man. Like, you was, bro. What?
Hey, bro, when you got all the confidence in the world, you got your niggas backing you. I mean, hey, it is what it is when you got your niggas backing you.
Also,
no, Cameron Bailey, he did not return. It's a confirmed fact. He left, and they thought he died, or he should have been dead for them.
what's funny about this is that this kind of makes Dabi responsible for a bunch of different Nobus coming into existence, because I doubt he let those kids out of that facility before he burned it. So
Them niggas just took the quirk factor out of their body and let that shit ride.
You know Ujiko.
Yeah, he was like, damn, these charred bodies. All right, we can still do something though.
he probably put them all together into one big Nomu.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because we really never seen the inner workings of how you get that body. Because we know it's a bunch of motherfuckers put together. Because we know it was like, all right, when we took the DNA of the USJ Nomu, it was like 5 different people put into one. And this is the original person's body though. And it was like, all right, this shit kind of.
You trying to figure out why niggas' brains be in their mouths and shit?
Bro, it was like, I'm trying to figure out too. Was it just like, all right, I got to make this work how I got to work? Or he just like, ooh, I wonder what would happen if I put this here. Ooh.
Yo,
Hood
had a permanent hoodie. He was like, yo, this shit kind of fly. I think I could put this on the normal.
Oh, God. Imagine this nigga looking at pictures of the old original person. He's like, you know what? I think he like a stylist. He's like, I think chainsaw arms look good on you. Jet boosters on your feet. My nigga over there fucking playing The Sims and shit, bro. Custom doll build. Like, boy, what the fuck wrong with you, boy? That nigga's sick. But hey, listen, Ujiko number 2, realest nigga in MHA. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down. Number 1, still that nigga Garen, bro. To the day, realest nigga in MHA. I don't give a fuck, bro.
He top 5.
I want to see anybody in that bitch get beat up, talk shit, then get their fingers cut off one by one, and don't even squeal on your, not even not squiggling your niggas. Don't even make a peep. And you get your entire finger shot off. The niggas, man, it what it is, dog.
Yo, East. You know how I be saying Dabi black, like he one of those anime characters.
Yeah, he a nigga, yeah.
Oh,
And how he had, like,
goodness.
you know how niggas be saying Piccolo black, like I be like, I say Dabi's black. Listen, the skin got put over him. He is black under all that.
Oh God, it's
He
undeniable.
burned himself. He is actually black under all that skin.
Hey, listen, Dabi say nigga, it is what it is, bro.
He can only say the N-word when he got the black hair. When he puts the hair dye remover in, he can't say it no more.
Oh my goodness, y'all wild. All right.
When he's done with this fight, he's gonna be black.
That's a fact.
He gonna be back to his roots. You right?
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm
he literally
sick.
back his true form.
All right. Let's start going around the horn. Let's Tarnish final thoughts.
Yo, listen, y'all know me when it's Dabi season. When it's Dabi season, every chapter is just a treat. But like Dabi season might be ending soon, so I don't know how to feel. But for now, I'm chilling. Toya, these Toya chapters, I don't know like why they be hitting different. I guess it's like seeing your villain like as a child, like I felt the same way when I saw Shigaraki's backstory. Like seeing Shigaraki as a kid with black hair was just crazy. Like seeing Dabi like as a kid, teenage Dabi, 16, like I never thought I'd see it for real. He ain't have no staples. Like he look a little clean. I ain't gonna lie, he look a little clean. Fuck Endeavor though. That coming home 3 years later, seeing the same thing. Like also, I got to shout out Sayas real quick because she was in the scans chat. So she was like, listen, the sad thing about this for real is that Toya dying really did change Endeavor. That shit really did hurt him for real. And he actually decided to double down on his ambitions instead of, running away from it, which during those hospital chapters, Endeavor said, if only I had given up that day that Toya died. Like he was wandering around the forest, like looking for him. He was looking for him. So if only Toya knew, he was actually really close to giving up, but his death actually made him go further into it than backing up. But there was no way for him to know that anyway. But I need more. I hope next week, if we are still with Dabi, he'll give like little bits and pieces of how he survived for real. But if not, then it's cool. I'll just stick with my head canons. But we got a break next week. I'm sick. That's all I. Oh yeah, 18-page chapter 2. Listen, we going back to our prom.
Like it's just all right. Whakins, go. Final thoughts.
Yo, this chapter was good. This chapter was really good. I like how we're seeing Dabi's side of some things again. Kind of filling in some of those holes that not like holes that were like breaking his backstory, but just like some of the holes of like, oh, where was he for a while, and did he even try to go back to the house and all that. So just seeing things like that. Everybody's acting in character, especially with him just running away, being like, no, I'm not getting trained by anybody else. Like I have to be trained by Endeavor to surpass All Might. I'm not gonna be trained by someone else. No, go away with you. The art this chapter, spectacular. I mean, this is Horikoshi at his best right here. Especially these last 2 pages of Dabi, like this burning, charred skeleton zombie kind of thing. Like, it's so sick. I love it. I can't wait I'm gonna try to look up some like colorings of this just to see what people are gonna do with this. And I like the effect too here of the All Might statue melting. I don't know, I just really like it a lot. I am in the camp thinking that, okay, we're probably going to cut away from this scene, move to a different battlefield. Because I think, we kind of talked about it earlier, how we're just kind of jumping between the battlefields right now, kind of setting up the battles, like giving us the emotional weight of it. And then when we cut back to them, that's when all the hype shit's gonna happen. Like all the, oh, here's this move and that move, and here's this counter and this maneuver, like all the hype shit that everybody loves to talk about in a meathead sense. We'll get that when we get back to our battlefields. But no, we're getting all the emotional weight right now, which is good. I like this. I like the setup here. But overall, love the chapter, love everything that's going on. And Endeavor's still a piece of shit dad.
I mean, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
East.
All right. It's time to wrap it up, huh? First off, fuck Izzy in the clique he came with. Quick question. Anybody can tell me what the equivalence for a trifecta is for saying like quadruple? Anybody know that? Let me know.
Just go with quadfecta.
Quadfecta, appreciate that. I'm gonna use that in a minute. But listen, man. Woo! Absolute fucking flames, dog. Man, listen. I was when I say I was, listen, I'm usually shaking my ass, but man, I was throwing that shit. Fucking, hey, Bussy Buzz, hey, Sussy for Fortnite. Boy, I was throwing that shit back for this chapter, man. It's finally, the whole story is finally clear on everything coming together piece by piece. Like I said, once again, everybody be questioning why this happened like this or whether that, but Horikoshi always has a logical reason for why this shit didn't make sense. So this whole entire time, why they didn't know this nigga was fucking alive and fucking Dabi, fucking obviously his day. It was taking through the start to the finish. He died at Seto Peak. They didn't know he was capable of blue fire. Like listen, they didn't know he was capable of fucking blue fire. His jaw literally burned off his body, and they thought the winds blew that shit away. So it's like, well, he was actually dead to them that after that, because those are his actual jaw. They put a dental records, I'm pretty sure. Then he disappeared for that long. You think he's actually dead because he's not coming back. He didn't come back for what, fucking 13 years. Of course you go think the nigga is gone. So then on top of that, this nigga dyed his hair, actually grew up, had his face surgically altered so you wouldn't even recognize him. He not once got close to Dabi except for Pro Hero. And that time he was drained, woozy, couldn't see, fucking overheated. He had one of his eyes working. Like, nigga, that shit was crazy. Like, no wonder you didn't know that was your own child. They even had the same hair color. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all wouldn't recognize y'all kid that died and came back with different body parts and looked like a fucking zombie. And you didn't even know he had blue fire because there are other fire users in the world. It's like this is one bloodline. Only one family can use fire. No, it was like plenty of fire niggas. So that shit is honestly crazy to me. There's still more bits, but the most important shit is out the way. When Horikoshi said he wouldn't do a horror manga, don't let that nigga do a horror manga because this shit was straight out of the Promised Neverland. The worst part about this chapter, why the fuck was that nigga 7 feet tall, 265 pounds of fucking muscle? Nigga had muscles on top of his back. Nigga ass and glutes on swole, calf muscles on swole, and then nigga had a fucking sunflower for a face. Ujiko a sick motherfucker, Off One a sick motherfucker, and Kohei a sick motherfucker. Them niggas don't need to do nothing else but sit their ass down because that shit is sickening to my stomach. Got a bunch of kids in an orphanage, nigga over time. You can't leave Sunshine. Like, boy, I'll shoot that nigga 20 times. You got me bent. Oh, big buff ass nigga. That's like a rock put on a fucking clown face and talking about some sunshines and rainbows. Boy, you got me fucked up. I'm getting the hell out of here. Shout out to Dabi for being the fucking GOAT and telling that nigga Off One, suck my dick from the back. Your tricks ain't working on me because I'm so tired of this nigga having his hand in everything. And since we're on that topic, the chapter was absolutely fucking flames, no pun intended. To wrap this up, listen, it's called a, what again? Quadfecta?
I don't know. That's what I'm running with, bro.
All right, we running with, fuck it. I'm a nigga, so y'all know how we do this shit. I'm going to say what the fuck I was just going to say. And y'all know what I mean. Listen, there's one sole character within this series. Whether, depending on how this got to go, no matter which way this go, the long end or the short end, no matter what happened to this series, that nigga, Shigaraki, got to hit a quadfecta to keep up with Dabi and get his rightful place as the final villain of My Hero. I don't care, nigga. He got to hit the quadfecta. All the niggas he fighting got to die. Off One got to get his ass stomped out. Toshino, I need you to pull up too. Like, you ain't got to fall. He got to come with the fucking heat because I'm tired of this nigga getting held back. He got to come correct because right now, The Dabi stocks is through the roof. And tomorrow you've been on the stagnant, bro. You ain't been on decline in a minute, but you got to come with the quadfecta, my dog. But listen, I got nothing but faith the hardcore's gonna pull through on my boy and shit. But hey, it is what it is. Honestly, appreciate y'all for coming again. We're not gonna be here next week, most likely. And then shit, we're gonna be a long time before we see y'all again, but y'all can always catch us in Discord or wherever you need be. But listen, appreciate y'all for coming against the Church of MHA. We out. You already know what the time it is. Because as always, I am undefeated of the East, baby. What it do? Hell whore, and I appreciate y'all for coming.
All right, y'all. It's Anarchy. We heading out. I appreciate everybody who came through, all the regulars, and especially Bishop Tarnish, Bishop Whakins, and Archbishop East. That being said, we're gonna be out. I'll probably be on Anime Lately later today, so we'll see you then. That's it. We done. Bye.